You're looking at it.
Oh, okay.
You see them, they're walking home? Yeah, yeah, and he called the phone and said, yes, they spray, they spray. See them right there, they ain't spray nothing.
Look, they don't like them, right?
See them right there walking home still.
So any cupboard you put back in here?
They're right here still. In here ain't spray, I tell you. They ain't spray. They spray one building and that's the building over there. I'm telling you, me and asking you.
Call Mr. Hazel and show you.
But they done call him today and they done say that they spray. And I tell him, putting it to them that they ain't spray this part.
This is the room.
So this here you're looking at is one of the vents or the secret room, the wet room or with the wet walls behind the bathrooms. It's a secret room. That's the only entrance and exit to it. So that is possibly where a lot of the fumes coming from that making people sick, because in there you have open sewage. That's old time system. Yeah, as you look down, what you could see is the raw open channels. This is inside the room we're talking about, inside the building of the Basseterre High School. The white spots you see in toilet paper, which were flushed. The one on the left, that's coming from the staff room, but the one on the right coming from the art room, and the stuff right next to the white paper, that would be sewage right there. Right on the right, there's a white spot on the right. Yeah, that's sewage and the toilet paper right there. On the wall, you could see that? You could pan in and zoom in and see that? And when we opened it this morning, there were thousands of roaches, literally thousands of roaches in this room. And this is a hidden room. It's called a wet wall or wet room. Now we're going to enter the bathroom section of the art room. And as you go in, if you look in the second room on the left, there you could see the old pipe which leads directly to the sewage and to the old junction box in the water room, in the wet room that's behind these walls that we're looking at straight ahead. All right, so no toilet in this room, but in the room to the left of it, there's an active toilet which is used, and the sewage from there go the same place, into that roach-infested room where all the pipes and all the canals and channels meet to channel the sewage to the septic tank. But the same way the sewage could go out, the fumes could come back into these rooms, and so that is, to me, is a health hazard. Yeah, right now we are entering the boys' bathroom on the western campus. It is right next to the chemistry lab, and as we enter, you can see it is in not too bad condition, but when you get to the toilets themselves, you could see there's water on the floor, and the toilets look okay, but the real problem is when you look to the back of the toilets. When you look to the back, you can see the actual pit where the sewage connects to the drain pipe, and of course you could realize that it's not properly connected, and so they leave room for the fumes to come back and for rodents and roaches to travel in and out. As we exit the toilet, you could see the ceiling, the roof of the corridor is cracking and crumbling. Right outside the physics and chemistry lab we are right now. This is one of the areas which were first identified as a problem. You know, all of this is like cracking away. You could see the steel has expanded from oxidation, and all of this will just crumble on somebody's head sooner or later. Now we are here at the famous chemistry lab, and you could see all the stools are put up on the desk, you know, it's cleaned out. But what we're really here to look at is the plumbing system, and you could see the sinks. But what I want you to notice is the way how the sinks connect to the wastewater is dealt with. If you look under there, you realize the same trough and drain system with no trap to stop the fumes from coming back into the building. If you look right behind you on the floor, you will see one of the trap doors that control the water. You see? They're not been in use for a year, so that would explain why they're dry. But they connect directly to the septic system, the same as the toilet. So anytime the toilet have a problem, the fumes will very well come right back here. And this is the same for every station in the lab. You could see one under every sink. There's one. The tunnels under the floor which channel the water around. This one is active, wet. You could see there's water draining into it, and that water makes its way slowly down to the septic tank, soak away. And so we're saying that all of this is archaic, All this need to be abandoned. If you look in this one, you could see a four-way junction with water coming from three different ways and exiting through a fourth one right to the bottom of the screen there. So I think this is what caused the fumes to come up in the chemistry lab first, because this is where most people complain. The students complain of itching and burning and eyes and tongue dryness, and this is typical of exposure to raw sewage fumes from septic. So that's it. It's the chemistry lab. You could see how it's set up. Old-time style. Not too bad, but the system is not really conducive. If you could go into the next room, it's connected to the physics lab. The physics lab, however, doesn't have any water. But once you close the rooms, they become one space, and any gas that's in one room could quickly come over to the other room. What you could notice further is the hole in the ceiling. If you look up, we notice that once gases get into the ceiling, they could travel from room to room, therefore contaminating all the rooms. So that could very well be the source or the cause why these rooms were affected more. All right, in a while we'll go around to the back and see what happens to that water as it gets outside and where does it go, how it connects to the septic that is up on this end of the building. Okay, so we now exit the chemistry lab and we're proceeding north around the building. You could see on the ground they have some pipes which were brought here to fix the drainage problem, which everybody thinks it might be a drainage problem, but I think it's bigger than that. The actual septic system has been compromised, as I said, so those pipes will just be like a plaster on a bullet wound. So now we go into the back. We pass around the chemical storage room. This little room is the chemical storage room, but it has already been emptied. And as we reach to the back, you realize the same trough system again. These, once they're covered, the gas could just travel through them and go right into the room. These go straight and connect to the septic tank and further on to the soakaway. But if you notice again, both wastewater and sewage traveling through the same connector. And this is just one of many in this area. Mind you, these are separate from what we have seen down on the southern end of this building. This is a separate system to the north, and as you could see, some work was done there to repair it. But I don't think it needs repairing, I think it needs replacing because it's archaic. As we move to the right, we could see a soakaway which was dug and fitted with stones and pipes and felt cloth and all kind of thing. It's done properly, and it was done in response to the fact that the water was not going anywhere. The water from the sinks stopped from going down because the septic system, again, overwhelmed, and the water has nowhere to go. So they built a new one in hopes of trying to solve the problem, not realizing that the whole septic needs replacing. All the pipes from here on have been corroded from the inside, and therefore the water cannot flow to the septic. I don't know if it's full or it's just overwhelmed by saturation, but as you could see, that is one attempt made last year to repair the system, but that didn't work, obviously. Okay, so what we're looking at now is one of the air vents from the septic tank, and this is right outside the same toilet which we just entered. And as we look, you could see organisms down there thriving in the water. I don't know if you can get a pan down the hole itself, kind of bring your camera over the hole a little more. But when you look down there, you could see tons of mosquitoes down there swimming around in the water. I just had a little shot there of it. Okay. Yeah, but this vent's supposed to go all the way up to the roof. This is right under the window. And as you pull out, you could probably see the toilet right inside the window, because this is right under a window for the chemistry lab and the physics lab. And right through that window is one of the toilets. So it's very easy for the fumes to come back out of that hole and go into the room. That hole not supposed to have no water in it. That should have already drained into the septic tank. And the fact that it has mosquitoes in it tells you that it is stagnant. It's been there for a while. That's why you have mosquitoes breeding inside of it. All right? So I think this needs to be fixed, and this could be one of the reasons why the labs felt the fumes the most. Even if they didn't go through the piping system inside, the draft on the back of the building here, the western side, could lift this fumes from in this hole and carry it back into the building because of this location and proximity to the building.